It's the rock star, Mr. Rock Lokester in the building, aka Muhammad Speaks, man. This is part 2 of that last video that I just dropped. And if you ain't seen that last video, hey, go check out that video. Good video. But it was a comment, right? So I'm gonna respond to this comment and I'm gonna jump right back up in what I was talking about. So dude made a comment saying the way I explained what I was explaining was the R word, right? In prison, right? And if you're up in here, you make sure you smash that like button, man. Don't cost you nothing, but it do me something, man. Y'all get subscribed up. Y'all jump up in them comments. So let me bring you up to speed just in case you haven't seen that video. So I was explaining the difference between in prison that the R word and giving it away, right? So I would tell them, like, way back in the gap when I first went to prison, how people were getting they cookie snatch, right? They was actually, it was different than latter years. So I was explaining that if a person up in a cell with you, 9 times out of 10, when these type of situations happen, it's your cellie, right? So if a person, you and your cellie in there fighting, and you don't want to fight no more, you tap out, and he's a bandit. And he like, okay, well, this how I rock. So what you gonna do? And you don't want to fight no more, and you choose to give up your cookies, or you choose to eat iron, then you gave that away. Because let me tell you something. Me, there'll be no tears in the end. And what I mean by there'll be no tears in the end, I'm not going to compromise my manhood and then sit around and cry about it. No, you got to catch a body. That's what you got to do. You might be stronger than me, but you better have a bigger heart, because you got to catch a body. And, hey, everybody that feels like how I feel, y'all jump up in them comments. Let me know. Let me know. Are you going to give it because you just don't want to fight no more? You don't want to get beat up no more? You just going to give it? Huh? No. You got to. And there's many people who have lost them lives in that cell just like that. See, this is what I'm trying to get people to understand, right? Especially people who's in the streets. Because see, if you in the streets, you only got 2 options. Death and hell in the cell. Hell on earth. Belly of the beast. And here, everything goes in prison. See, people want to look at stuff and say, okay, you want to apply free world logic to prison logic. And that's where you go wrong. That in prison, free world rules don't exist. It's penitentiary rules in effect. In prison, first thing is, you don't speak on nothing. You mind your business. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Regardless of what go on, it's not your business. Because here, you have to have, if you feel you got the strength to take whatever you want to take, regardless if it's commissary, somebody's shoes, or somebody's cookies. If you feel you got the strength to take it, then you take it. That's prison. Nobody's gonna save you. So keep that in mind. Nobody's saving you. You ought to have heart to be able to go through whatever it is to go through to defend and protect what's sacred to you. That's where that boils down. You think you're strong enough to take it? Well, I'm strong enough to protect it. Whatever it is, right? And you better be strong enough to protect it. Because if you're not strong enough to protect it, if you're not strong enough to be able to protect your belongings, and we're going to talk commissary shoes and stuff like that on that, then you're going to pay for protection the whole time you're a hoe. That's it. You're going to pay for protection the whole time. If a bandit trying to get you and you're not strong enough to take your cookies, protect your cookies, guess what? Look, let me tell you the making of a punk. Y'all jump up in them. Y'all smash that like button. Y'all jump up in them comments. I'm going to tell you how punks are made. See, this when people talk, I always told y'all I'm going to give y'all the real. See, I really need to get my members only going so I can really get raw uncut with y'all. Because I'm going to give y'all the real. Because I want you to know, when you out here tripping, when you go down there, this is what you got coming. This is what so, when I say prison has its own rules, that means nothing is right. Nothing is wrong. Follow me. There is no wrong or right in prison. Everything goes. It's all about strength. I don't care what nobody say. Nothing is right. Nothing is wrong. Whatever you think that happened to somebody and being free, you might say that was wrong. In prison, that's not wrong. I'm not going to say it's right because there's no right or there's no wrong. Especially when you're talking about the late 80s, early 90s, especially before them gangs got real tough in prison and them bandits was running just wild. Let me tell you something. This is why I say you fight to the death. This is how punks are made. You get a celly. So when you come on the block, you got people running up to the bars like, hey, what cell you going to? What cell you going to? First thing first, you just tell them, I'll be back to the day room. You ain't got to worry about that. And you go deal with whatever. But you go up in the cell and you got a bandit, or just if a bandit feel like he see you and he can break you. I tell you about predator and prey. That's really real. It's really real in prison. So they know how to pick, right? They can pick the weak ones. That's just how it is. Sometimes they pick wrong. Sometimes they pick wrong. But the vast majority of the times, they're going to pick right. And in their mind is, I can break him. Look at him. He's weak. Understand this. These people been in prison 9, 10, 11, 12 years when the new boots, which is the new boots, is the people who fresh to prison, never been to prison, 18, 19 years old, weigh 155 pounds, ain't never seen a weight, ain't never touched a weight. And this all they've been doing all the time, pumping weight. And they'll throw you in the cell with anybody. There was no age, weight, nothing. Nothing. And they'll throw you in the cell with somebody, right? I had a little homeboy that got like that. But he got like that because when he came on the unit, well, he wasn't my homeboy. Man, bust ass. Yeah, anyway, another story. And and they'll throw you in the cell. And he might be a bandit, right? And he feel like he can break you. And he break you, right? Because you don't want to fight no more. So now he putting that yam up in you, right? And then he gonna turn around, go back out there and be like, hey, what's up with your celly? Because all the bandits are, it doesn't even, especially, you didn't even have to be your celly. You could just be targeted, right? And they can go up in your cell and run up in your cell and you don't want to do nothing. And then they come back out and then they go get, because birds of a feather flock together. So they go right back to the mother bandits, right? And they tell them like, yeah, got him. Got him. Like, what? He got what? Oh shit, that roll of doors, I'm gonna go up in there. So now you got multiple people. You don't want to fight? You don't want to do nothing? Now you got the other bandits coming up in there. So they coming up there to do that because you don't want to fight. Now all of a sudden, you don't want to get beat no more. So now all of a sudden, you get a man. And you just go full-fledged punk. That's the making of a punk. That's why there is so many punks in prison. Because there is no guns in prison. And look, I don't feel sorry for nobody. Because the thing is, you did something horrible to somebody to go to prison. So I'm sorry. That's why sometimes I be laughing about stuff and people be in my comments talking about, oh, he's a sociopath. Look how he can laugh at that. I don't give a damn. This is prison. And that's what you got to understand when you out here and you doing anything. When you go to prison, hey, there's no wrong. There's no right. Everything goes. Now you can choose whatever it is that you want to do. Now these are people who lost their moral compass. These are people, I actually, you know what? This is why I say penitentiary rules in effect. Because, and people on the outside sit there and be like, oh, that's so sad. That's what. Let me tell you, people do all that in prison and then come to the free world and they'll never speak about it, right? You know why? Because they're ashamed of it. So you don't do nothing that you're ashamed of, right? You don't do nothing. Y'all smash that like button, y'all up in here, man. Y'all smash that like button. Y'all get subscribed up, man. Because I got some more parts of this that I'm going to ride down through. But I ain't through right now. So, people are ashamed of. I done seen people, like I said before. I know these people. And they come out here in the free world. And they'll sit here and talk to you about something. I hear and be like, man, that's gay in the mug. That's good. Like, I was locked up with you. You know, I know what you was doing in there, right? You messing with boys, right? You do know, I know that, right? And you gonna sit here and talk to me about, man, look right on the, man, that's gay as, man, look at these gay ass. You know, right, that I was locked up with you. And you did that, right? See, penitentiary rules, that them rules that's free, they don't apply in prison. Prison is a totally different mindset. The laws don't care. The inmates don't care. Hey, ain't no love. Period. There's no love in here. People in there that feel that they're stronger, they prey on the weak. Period. If it's to take your commissary or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Right? You got, let me tell you. Let me tell you. You got people. We had a influx one time of punks. Or we call them free world punks, right? That came to work in prison. See, I'm gonna show you how predatory prison is. I'm gonna tell you. So the punks come working in prison, right? And this is what they would do. And let me say this, but this is gonna be in part 3. This is why you don't talk to punks, right? If you don't mess around, you have no business talking, associating, whatever with punk. We have nothing to talk about. We have nothing in common unless you're curious, yeah? And that's the way they see it. If you sit there and talk to them, you got to be curious. So you got these laws that was free world punks that come in here and you got, because they just talking and want to talk to, the law, and he's a free world punk. And then the punk tell you one time, hey, I'm gonna come through later on. And you're like, the fuck you tell me that for? I'm like, look, when I come through, look, I want to see something. What? Yeah, I want to see something. Nah, I don't rock out like that. Okay, if you don't show me something, I'm going to write you up, send you down the hallway. That's medium custody, closed custody, where it's really rock and roll. I'm going to write you up. That's a major case. I'm going to write you up. So now the prison guard is extorting you to indulge in homo activity, because he done already peeped you too with his predatory instinct and seen that, hey, he too friendly. He'll mess around. Hey, I might have to push him a little bit. Just like in prison, they feel the same way that with our inmates is. I feel like I can break him, but inmate gonna break you with physicality. The law gonna threaten you with writing you up. And guess what they do? They do it. They do it. That's a fact, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, man. That's a fact, man. And I'm gonna jump into that on part 3. Why you don't talk to punks, man. But I got a whole bunch more. I'm gonna drop a whole bunch of parts on this, because I'm gonna tell y'all all about that little dirty, nasty side of the penitentiary, the worst side. I want you to know, because when you out here playing them games, you need to understand the games that's played in prison is not the games that's played out here. The rules that's out here, they not in there. They not in there. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's gonna save you. They're gonna laugh at you. Like I be laughing? Yeah. Facts, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. Y'all already know, man. Y'all smash that like button. Y'all get subscribed up. Y'all jump up in the comments, man. It's the rock star, man. Yo, hey, say what you want to say podcast, man. And I'm out.